Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the December 6th, 2021 meeting of the Housing Committee for Community Board 11. I am John Green, the interim chair. The meeting will come to order at 6:38 p.m. And as always, there's ground rules with our meeting. So first, no one may speak until granted the floor. Excuse me. Board members, if you have a question about board business or wish to make a motion, please raise your hand through Zoom. If you click on the participants icon, the participants panel should appear and you should find the raise hand function. Those of you who may have any technical difficulties, please inform Ms. Pierre and she will help you in any and all ways that she can. The chat function should not be used for community board business. If people want contact for contact information, that's fine. But to discuss what's being discussed in the open meeting, please refrain from doing that. Please keep your questions on topic and brief, please. And members of the public, if you have a question or comment about the subject on the agenda, please raise your hand through Zoom and wait to be recognized. Okay, let's see. You can call roll, Marlene, please.
Sure. Stephanie Arroyo.
Here.
Thank you. Raja Flores.
Here.
Thanks. John Green.
Here.
Thanks. Robert Harvey. Jada Heredia. Ivy Hume. Here. Thank you. Alonzo Johnson.
Here.
Thank you. Robin Krinsky. Beverly Pabon. Xavier Santiago.
Here.
Thank you. And Candy Vives Vasquez. You have a quorum, John.
Okay, thank you, Marlene.
You're welcome.
The agenda was distributed to the committee in advance of tonight's meeting. So if there's no objections, the agenda will be adopted. Are there any objections? Seeing none, I see a hand raised. Oh no, I'm sorry, I don't. No, forgive me. And also the thing is, if there are no objections, the November meeting minutes shall be adopted. Are there any objections? Seeing none, so ordered. Okay. Okay. Now, as far as announcements, there aren't many, but there is something that I do want to say. There is a couple. I've been reading through a couple of articles concerning NYCHA over the last week or so, and there's something that may be of interest to you. I believe it's on the website of New York Daily News. There is a development that is on the west side of Manhattan. I know it's not in our district, but it may be of interest. They are privately owned now, and the residents are complaining about shoddy work, shoddy materials, and lags in repairs. So the thing that if so with RAD, which I don't know, we have no idea whether RAD will exist after Bill de Blasio leaves office. But if it does, the thing is, this is something that we may want to keep an eye on. So and also there's also a developer that has taken on, said that they're going to take on a $336 million project to renovate certain developments in Manhattan. And that's also something that we may want to keep an eye on. And that's it for me as far as announcements are concerned. Are there any informational updates? Or I should say, are there any other announcements? I apologize.
I don't see any hands raised, John.
Does anyone have any information?
What? I'm just talking to myself. I'm trying to figure out how to work this down.
Okay, so I guess we can go straight to the agenda, which is we have a rather light agenda this month. As a matter of fact, it's basically a committee discussion on two topics. First, the thing is that the collaboration between new and existing committee members. I believe there are a couple of new community board members on this committee, and there's new members on almost all committees. I would think. And the thing is that I know that for some of them, especially when it came to talking about budget and district needs, the thing is that I'm quite sure they were some of them have been quite confused about what's really going on, because it's really an involved process, and it was something that had to be done. It's done quickly. It's done within the first couple of months of the year. So the thing is that what I was thinking about, if would it be feasible if like members of the committee could reach out to new members and kind of like guide them through the different processes that we have to go through. And I would like to get the input of the members of the committee on that issue. Now, don't all of you raise hands all at once. Let's see. Alonzo Johnson has his hand up. Mr. Johnson, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Green. As one of the newest members of both of the board and this committee, I think this is a wonderful idea. I have to say, one of my first meetings with you guys was during the budget discussions, and it was extremely overwhelming, and I felt completely lost. I'm very happy to have someone give me a call or have a drink with one of the existing members. You kind of just walk me through what the committee does on and whatnot. I have an idea already of what the committee does after sitting in on a few meetings. But as you mentioned, it was it would be extremely helpful just to kind of talk with an existing member. You kind of go through some of the weeks because it was extremely overwhelming to sit through the budget discussions and the first couple of meetings without any guidance at all.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. I'm quite sure in some cases that it may have felt like you've been thrust in the middle of hell all of a sudden, and you're trying to have to figure your way through it. As a matter of fact, the thing is that any knowledge I may have, which I'm not sure what that is, but the thing is the thing is that you can. I believe there's a my email and phone number is online, I believe. So if you have any questions, you can contact me, and I can try to help you as much as possible. Oh, I see Marlene's hand is up. Please, Marlene, the floor is yours.
Thank you, John. So Alonzo, that is a common consensus among new board members regarding the budget. When I first started, I wasn't familiar with the city's budget. I had interned for the assembly in the Bronx, and I didn't deal with the city's budget, too intensely. And I'm also coming from child welfare, so I completely understand the confusion. But Carly did an amazing job last year attempting to mitigate that confusion for new members by creating the work plan. It's a really comprehensive work plan. that we distributed to board members in the beginning. And I'll be happy to distribute that document to you again in your email, just so you know that you have it and what the document actually is. I know when you see something for the first time, you don't even know what questions to ask because it's just not something you're familiar with. So I completely understand that, but I will send it to you. And if you have any questions about it, feel free to call the board office and I'll speak to you about it as well.
Yes, ma'am. Let me jump in here real quick. Absolutely. And again, the meetings went very, very well. They were very well organized. I'm just saying, you know, from a new member standpoint, I was just completely confused because I had no background in it, but again, the meetings ran very efficiently, and your materials were very helpful. So no critique here at all. I'm just saying that, you know, from my perspective, the more the better. So I appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you, Marlene. I believe Xavier has his hand up. Xavier?
Yeah, thank you, John. And thank you, Alonzo. It's a great question. And I appreciate when you and several of the other board members came out to 101 and Lex. It was, you know, I know it's kind of like drinking from a fire hose when you're coming on board with the community board. So I'm sure there are other members of this committee and myself included who'll be more than willing to kind of impart our knowledge that we have gathered. There's also a lot, not just on minutes, presentations and forums we've held over the years that we can get you access to. This committee, having once chaired it, it focuses on the preservation and existing housing within the district, and that includes everything from affordable low income to NYCHA, et cetera, and so on. The establishment or building of typically falls under land use, and then land use liaises with us, and we work together. We built a really great working relationship with that committee, making sure we're upholding our standards. So yeah, and then when it comes to the budget requests, you know, that's just drinking a bunch of zeros and ones and how to put them in the right order. So more than pleased, and it's great to thank you for speaking up, and we look forward to working together.
Ms. Johnson?
Oh, that was a mistake. Sorry.
Okay, okay, all right. Also, the thing is, one thing that I'm going to suggest also, since I've become a member of the community board, I've become basically a viewer of city council hearings, and sometimes you can get some insight from the budget in some of those hearings, and how things are done in the city council, since we have to give our request to the city council. So that's something that may be of assistance as well. Are there any other comments from the committee?
I don't see raised hands, John.
Okay, well, the thing is
Mr.
that
Roundabout, this is working.
if there is someone who is unmuted, could you mute
That was
yourself?
Beverly. I just muted her. She's unmuting herself.
Oh, thank you. The thing is that like I said, if any of the veteran members of the board, if you can reach out and assist any of the newer members, it would be greatly appreciated. The thing is that it'll make the process a lot easier. And the thing is that getting showing them what has to be done and make their lives easy, and also they'll be better informed and better prepared to go through this process again, because as you can see, the thing is with budget and district needs, this is going to become like a 10-month a year thing for us, because there's so much to do, and the thing is that you have like 13 committees that have to get their budget requests in, and they have to be in all at the same time. So that's something that's going to become a year-round discussion. As a matter of fact, we're going to discuss it again in a few minutes. if there are no other no other comments about that from any of the board members, we will go to the next thing on the agenda. But before we do, I would like to say something. At last month's meeting, I would like to thank Ivy for how she expressed herself about the about new housing or housing on Randall's Island and stuff like that. Because the thing is that with creating that housing in that area, it's just not a thing where, gee, we can just do this. No, you have to convince people with data that it's worthwhile. The thing is that there's some that it involves possibly rezoning, basically possibly changing a couple of laws. It's a long process. And the thing is, it's like what John Kennedy said about going to the moon. He says, you're not doing it because it's easy. You're doing it because it's hard. And the thing is that it takes a long time to get certain things done, especially when you have to deal with the government. So Ivy, I want to thank you for making that statement at last month's meeting. Okay, next is we're going to talk about our budget and district needs. Now, the thing is that, like we said a few minutes ago, the thing is that it's a long drawn out thing. It's going to be a year round thing. So the thing is that coming up probably not tonight, but probably starting with the January meeting, the thing is that we may have to start talking about fiscal year 23. Even though the requests aren't due until next fall, the thing is that we're going to have to start dealing, before you know it, we're going to have to be dealing with this. And in some cases, we may be dealing with 22 and 23, because the thing is that the city council will be doing their preliminary hearings in a few months, and we're going to be hoping and praying that some of the things that we requested will get funded. But the thing it's like something like, if you ask the question, when does Macy's start planning for the Thanksgiving Day parade? The day after Thanksgiving. So the thing is that it's best that we take a look, and I know that we can only look at the current list now, and basically we can really just, if there's any additional things, we can start working on that. And if anything comes up from any member of the committee, I should say, is that like we can hash it out and see if it's something that can be placed on the budget request for fiscal year 23. Any questions? Or any comments?
Hello, may I be heard?
Whose hand?
Hello, this is
up?
Beverly.
Okay, Beverly. Yes. Beverly, the floor is yours. Okay, you've muted yourself. Unmute yourself. Okay. We'll come back to Beverly, but at the moment, Xavier has his hand up. Xavier.
Hi, thank you, John. Thank you for making sure this was on the agenda. I know some committees have been more focused on it than others, and I think this is one of the areas where we can now get way in front of the 8 ball. And something you and I discussed is also checking in with a lot of our NYCHA TA residents and the associations, and finding out what issues they're facing, because those can be those conversations become the genesis for budget requests, whether it be a boiler, are they having outages? Also, too, understanding the difference between the expense and capital request. For example, repointing an entire building under NYCHA's coding is an expense versus a capital, but putting that in, there's just not a lot of money for expense. We're figuring this is where the conversations begin now. So then when we get to when we go into the summer months, we can actually have everything teed up to have a request placed out for the public to review. And then we come into September and we're already prepared to do the work. The heavy part of the lift is done. So again, just reminding everyone this is the opportunity now and to safely do it, because we do a lot of this virtually, to check in with and just take a walk in the community. What do we see? What's happening? Checking in with the HPD, et cetera, and so on. So just a little note to keep in mind, because NYCHA, HPD, those are two of the major ones we deal with, as well as a few others when it comes to the housing committee. So thanks, John.
And also, they're the two most difficult people to get to the table for consultations in the summer.
Which that is a fact.
Thank you, Xavier. You're quite correct on that. The thing is that it's something that we will probably have to do. Get to at least possibly to the Council of Presidents meeting, and probably try to talk to the presidents there and see if what their issues are, and see if we can assist in getting them addressed. Any other questions or comments? Okay, now, but one thing I will say, the thing is that I think that the community board did a great job with budget and district needs this past year. The thing is that it was a process that went a lot smoother. It's probably the smoothest gone in my 8 years here. So the thing is that it's a lot smoother, but and hopefully will continue to be this way. And like I said, the thing is that we most likely starting in January we'll be having some brief discussions about budget and district needs, because it's extremely important. And since we're supposed to advocate for the community, the thing is that we can try to put some requests in if we see anything that's not on the list now, see if it can be placed on the list for the next round for fiscal year 23. And believe it or not, I think that's all we have for presentation and discussions for this month, folks, because it would, like I said, it's a very light agenda. And the thing is that some of the agencies that were invited said that they couldn't make it this month, but they'll be here within the next couple of months. So the agenda will probably be a little more robust in the coming months. Yes, Xavier.
And again, thank you for letting me opine again. I think one of the issues, if I'd like to hear a little bit from the committee, if it pleases you, John, is the announcement with the safe injection site on 126th Street between Lexington and Park and the Nairi location. Because this affects housing, it's right next to 1776. There was a lot of uproar, and one of the big things that I think we should all take affront as that certain members in the community have stated publicly in writing that we approved this and we were complicit and whatnot, which is an absolute lie, and I take an utmost offense. We're a very compassionate, empathetic community board, and one that is very stuck in and doing the people's work. But the way this was done, and I could not join us tonight, from Human Services, but we did ask Dr. Cunningham pointedly that whether or not we were being viewed or considered for citing, and as was stated in our current chair's letter, Chair Nisla Rama, is that we were lied to. But I do think this does affect how we are dealing with our housing issues and quality of life. Again, we want to help many members of the community in an equitable fashion, but I'd like to, if you're pleased, I'd like to hear a little bit of feedback from some of the committee members, because, you know, having gone to attend last Friday, you know, they definitely, Nairi was definitely wanting to be a good player, but nonetheless, they were a bit shocked at the rollout by the DOH-MH, but it does impact our housing needs and because of the fallout from the location.
Okay, thank you, Xavier. Okay, are there any comments from the committee? Because this is extremely important. They put a facility in here for, and basically without even letting anyone know, it's all of a sudden like it's there. And the thing is that, and like Xavier said, there are some people that may think that CB11 gave the green light for it, when the thing is we had no knowledge of it. The thing is we found out about it when everybody else did, and it's a thing where, I mean, I know people need help, but the thing is that but give us a heads up at least, and let us know that you're doing this. And basically we could have written a letter, we could have written a resolution about not opening it. I mean, but basically it basically looks like we were all part of the plan, and we really weren't. Yes, Xavier.
And just to clarify for any members of the public or board members, we had an existing moratorium resolution that was passed and shared with all of the elected officials regarding citing of any new facilities or additional services. Again, emphasizing it's not that we're without empathy at all. We're more about equity, and we were in the process of analyzing everything. And to be exponentially clear is that we asked DOH-MH, and the recording's on record. And then subsequent conversations occurred, and there were flat out denials. And so I think the thing is, I'd like to hear, because this does affect our existing housing stock, and we're already seeing an impact. And I think it's important that when we have a city charter remit and mandate to function as a community board, whether it's impacting housing or land use or licenses and permits, economic development, this affects many committees. And I think it's something worthy of discussion here. So we can take back to executive this month. So I'm going to be quiet now. So I just want to give everyone background.
Okay, thank you, Xavier. Beverly, you have your hand up? If you're speaking, the thing is you're still muted. Beverly?
Can I be heard?
Now we hear you.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I was here for the roll call. I'm in transit, I'm driving, so I wasn't sure how to work my phone to get a response. I'm just figuring it out. In regards to things that you just finished talking about regarding the help for the budget, yes. I like the analysis that Xavier said. It's like a whole hose we're trying to drink water from. But I was very pleased with the type of service that we got from Carly, and making it a little bit more understandable. So that helped a lot. In regards to the center that they just opened up, a lot of people in my community are not happy about it. whatsoever, and they thought that the community board were part of it. I had to tell them that we had no idea about it until, you know, it came public with everybody else. And seeing that it's already open, is there anything we can do to have it move to another location? Because what's happening now is that in my community, I live near 127th Street and 5th. I don't know what happens like after the people use their drugs in this safe environment, quote unquote, that they come outside and they're nodding all over the place. I mean, it's just crazy. So I want to know if there's anything that we can do collectively, either with the communities that's not happy about this, and ask that this facility be moved to another location. If the city is so hell bent on having a legal shooting gallery as a thing now. Thank you.
Thank you, Beverly. Now, I don't know about having it moved, but point of information, I'm going to ask Xavier a question. Isn't Diana Ayala the head of the health committee in the city council?
Was that directed toward me, John?
Yes, Xavier.
I'd have to double check my records, but I thought, yes, I just need to double check. Given the bereavement, my memory warehouse is a bit taxed.
And by the way, again, you have my deepest sympathies on your left.
It's not about that. I'm just apologizing because usually I'm a quick letter tell them. Let me double check on that. But just so everyone understands, the way our city council districts are split up is different from our assembly and senatorial. But yes, that actually belongs to the current incumbent, which is Bill Perkins, by one block over.
Okay.
So that is technically seated there. It is in the 68th Assembly District, and the 8th Council District is a block away. Attendees at the meeting on Friday were included. Our current council member, Ayala, who is the majority share of our district, and the former council member, Melissa Mark Viverito, Nilsa Angel, myself, Nye Whitaker, and there were other representatives too who attended, just pulling quickly names out of a hat. NYPD was there, so that's, what I can give you right now.
Thank you, Xavier. Rasha, you have your hand up?
Yes. I think when you let something like this go without making a big deal, they're going to impose something else in the future. I think as a community board, we need to make a big deal about this, whether you agree with the topic or not, whether you agree with this as a method to help people or not. I think the one thing as a community board we all should agree on, they can't just push. I mean, they did. You can't do this and not get a bad blowback from Community Board 11. If not, they're going to walk all over Community Board 11, not just with this, but with the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. So I think we've got to put something together that represents how the community feels, the outrage. We got to find certain things that they haven't thought about that it's going to affect. You got the 125th Street Metro North there. Is that going to make people commuting into the city and into the community lose some of their businesses because people are instead going to go to 42nd Street to Grand Central instead? I think we got to find out a lot of things that they didn't think about, bring that up and have and just be outraged. Because not specifically for this, but this is going to open up another thing. What are they going to do next? They're going to put a jail right next there, right? At 2 blocks down. What's next? And it's all going to fall on East Harlem or Washington Heights. And so I think we've got to show outrage and we got to make it painful for them so they don't do this again.
Thank you, Raja. You're right about that. And it's a thing where it's it's going to fall on a bunch of new people because, as some of you may know, the thing is that there are 37 new members of the city council that's coming in on January 1st. There's of the 51 people that are in there now, only 14 will be left by January 1st because everybody else is term limited, and also some of them have moved on to are going to be moving on to other offices. So excuse me, it's but Roger is correct. It's a thing where it's real. It could have been done better. At least like the thing is that they like since we're mandated to do the community's business, and we're supposed to be at least consulted in some way. The thing is that they did not do that, and that's wrong. Beverly has her hand up. Beverly, please, the floor is yours.
Yes, I agree with Roger. Also, we have to show some type of outrage of this because, like he said, that if we don't say anything about this, they're gonna, put something else out here without our permission, without our talking to us about it, and we have a lot in this community already, and I think that's defeating the purpose of the many programs of to get people off of drug use, to put something like that here in the community. I do agree that if businesses start to complain also regarding losing business because of this facility here, it just needs, something else needs to be done about this. I don't think we should just take this lying down at all. I think it should be some outrages. I know the Harlem Block Association was the first ones that I got emails from on their website regarding this program with pictures and everything. Right now, I just passed that facility and I believe it's still open. What is their hours of operation? Are they 24 hours? We don't know nothing about the, operation hours or anything like that, and how long the people stay in there in order to use their drugs, and then do they have a time limit for like 20 minutes? Like if you go to McDonald's, you have to sit down and eat. You only get 20 minutes. All of this information is not known to the community because they just put it in here without our feedback, and I'm just very, very disappointed about this all the way around, And it's right across the street from a school on top of that. I know it's a daycare center, but it has an after school program.
Well,
the parents and the people there are very upset and very concerned about the facility. Something needs to be done.
Thank you, Beverly. Thank you, Beverly. Well, the thing is that it's true, but then that is typical city of New York, how the city of New York does business. They do things and have no idea how it will affect an area or a group of people or whatever. They just put it there and just that's it. Like it's strange, but that's how it works. Steph, you have your hand up?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to beat a dead horse. It sounds like we're all in the same agreement that, we have to do something about this. I guess I just want to put in my 2 cents. Like, I definitely know that the site in the safety injection site in other places, it's worked. They do have them in Toronto, Canada. And the idea behind it is a place where they can safely use their drugs. And if, God forbid, their drug is laced, or, if from using drugs, they want to, they want to get help, that's the same facility where they would get it. And it's also, we need to keep in mind that this facility was not open for users, but it was open for needle exchange and for the programs that we already have. So I guess the idea for the city was they're already here, we're already serving a community here. I guess my argument behind it is this pilot program, I don't understand why they would put 2 of them in Harlem, because one is in West Harlem, farther up, like where the Heights is, and the other one's here in East Harlem. I don't understand, again, why they would put 2 in Harlem. The need is everywhere. Opioid use is everywhere. East Harlem did have 107 overdoses of people who passed away, and Staten Island had 100. So I really don't understand where this idea is that they need 2 of these sites here in Harlem. And I agree with, with them not, I agree with us going hard on this because, again, the rollout of it, right? I think so. A lot of us are in agreement that, there maybe should be something like this occurring in New York, not so much in East Harlem. But the rollout of this without any knowledge of this happening, without even an understanding to help our community members understand what's going on and what this is going to look like. I've heard that this is a 24-hour site, 7 days a week. I don't know if that, those are good questions. Are there time limits? Do they only have 20 minutes after they use their drugs to hang out there? How many people can be in that facility at the same time with COVID regulations, right? And so forth. But I'm done. I know I'm beating a dead horse, but I'm just happy to hear that even here in the Housing Committee, this is on our minds and we're making sure that we're working towards this.
Thank you, Steph. Sounds like ethnic profiling to me, but that's for another day. Xavier?
Thank you, everyone, for the robust conversation, thoughtful dialogue. What I would say is that we were very intent in our approach because, again, it's not what the result is. That's just part of the formula we're dealing with right now. It is how they approached and how the city approached it, and that they did it not in a disingenuous way, but a dishonest way. And that's why it is before us now. And if anyone has seen the letter submitted to all of our electeds and DOH, MH, it was very intent on, like, you cannot do this. We were in the process engaging the right providers who are being good partners versus bad partners, and doing the statistical analysis and engaging the community in a holistic fashion. And we were denied what many would consider our rightful charter mandate. And I think that has been systemic of this administration for the past 8 years. And I think we're at a break point now, but it's good to hear this committee's point of view that we could take back to executive and take a more firm position on that. And thank you, Stephanie, for mentioning stats, which were released in the press release, that South Bronx actually needed this location more than we did. Staten Island needed it more than we did. And my understanding is from those in the field is that it was, they didn't have the, Staten Island didn't want one, and then South Bronx wasn't ready for one. They didn't have a facility to step up, but that is not, when you are having a dialogue at the committee level and in the public forum, that is not a reason to lie. And that's why we are here right now. So I appreciate this, and thank you, everyone. Thank you, John, for entertaining the discussion.
Thank you, Xavier. And also, the thing is, I saw the letter that the chair wrote in protest of this, but and also I'm not sure if it would help if another letter was written to the new administration and tells it, like it's saying the exact same things as, why here? The thing is that, and plus it was in violation of the moratorium of that was agreed upon. So why did you just sneak it in here when you know you're wrong? Okay. Enough of my preaching, but any other comments?
John, you have a hand in the attendee section raised. If you would like to announce this person, Tamika Map.
No, yes, Ms. Mapp, the floor is yours.
All right, perfect. Thank you, committee chair. John, I just wanted to say, like going forward, is there a way that the community board can put in the same stipulations as there is with the cigarettes and liquor, meaning that we cannot put it 200 feet near a church or a school? Maybe that will give some other alternatives in other communities, because its bottom line is about fair share, right? We always getting overboarded with things that other communities don't want, and we always get in the brunt of it. And there's a way that we can be like a little bit more forceful, telling them to speak to us, speak to the community board before they do it, instead of all this after the fact and all this backtracking and stuff like that.
Thank you very much. Well, as far as us putting that requirement in unilaterally, I'm not sure that we can. The thing is that now what we can do is that perhaps, and I would need Xavier's help on this. The thing is that you know, like if it's placed, have be placed away from schools and things like that, we may not be able to do that by ourselves. But if it can be, if it's something that can be that the city council can vote on, where it becomes a requirement or basically a law. The thing is that that's something that we should try to follow up on as well. And thank you, Ms. Matt, for that statement.
You're welcome. Thank you for listening.
Okay. Are there any other comments? Any other questions? Okay. So there is somebody with a hand up, but I don't see the name of Beverly. Okay. She may be having internet issues. It says under her name, it says connecting the audio. So she may okay, maybe she's available. Beverly, can you hear me? Because if you're speaking, we can't hear you. Okay. But, as soon as you're connected to audio, the floor is yours. But in the meantime, are there any other comments or questions?
Can I be heard now?
Yes, we can hear you now, Beth.
Oh, okay, thank you. Again, I apologize for the internet disruptions that I have on my side. So am I understanding that as of now, there's nothing we can do with this committee and maybe join with other committees and protesting this? This is a done deal that it has to stay? Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, for now, yes. The thing is that like I said earlier, the thing is dealing with the political process it can be slower, or as I say, it flows like molasses uphill in February. So the thing is that it's doable. We can basically protest. I think there's several things we can do. The thing is that we can write letters. We can testify before the city council says, listen, this is not a good idea. One, it's not a good idea because one, there were communities that needed it more, even though one didn't want it and one wasn't ready. But the thing is that it could have gone somewhere else where other than Harlem. And like the thing is that there are things that can be done. It's just a thing where you have to realize whenever you deal with the government, you're in for a long fight, and because they do not move quickly. But there's always a recourse. The thing is that even if worse comes to worse, the thing is that if we decide that nothing is being done or it's not being done fast enough, you can always go to the media. It's something that we may not want to do, but it's the least desirable thing to do. But sometimes desperate times call for desperate measures. And you see, because also there's one thing that I know about the government of the city of New York. It hates to be called out in the media because that's a form of embarrassment. Perfect example is especially with housing. If a NYCHA resident goes to the media about a complaint that they lodged like for months or for years, when it hits the airwaves, they send someone like almost that same day because they hate being embarrassed. But are there any other questions or comments? Well, if not, I want to thank you for thank you for the discussion. I think it was excellent, and we will be talking about this in the months to come. Trust me. Okay, next, is there any old business? Okay. Is there any new business? There's none of that either. Ooh, okay. Well, I think we've come to the end of our meeting. And may I say to you, because since the next time we meet won't be until January 3rd, says in the event that I don't see you, the thing is, or speak to you, have a Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa.
Don?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Just may I take attendance? I think Beverly said she wasn't noted because she wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah, just take attendance really fast.
Oh, sure.
Thank you. Stephanie Arroyo.
Here.
Thanks. Roger Flores.
Here.
Thank you. John Green.
Here.
Robert Harvey. Cheda Heredia. Ivy Hume.
Here.
Thank you. Alonzo Johnson.
Here, happy holidays, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Robin Krinsky. Beverly Pavone.
Here, and happy holidays, season greetings to everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Xavier Santiago.
Here.
Thank you. Candy Vivas Vasquez. Thank you, John.
Thank you, Marlene. Listen, again, happy holidays. Hopefully I'll see you at full board in a couple of weeks. And like I said, enjoy the holidays. And this meeting is now adjourned at 7:31 p.m. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
All right.
That's good night.
Yeah.